Oh, oops, I went in again.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this BattleBlock Theater. If you have, don't forget to pound that like button down below and show your support. Remember to subscribe
Hatty,
to join
Hatty.
the team. Oh my gosh, the protesting is real.
What? I thought they loved
Subscribe
Hatty.
to join the team. See what's
Hatty's
on more
hat.
episodes of this. The finale will be coming soon, I suppose.
Yeah, unless we discover that there's
It's
more.
like 12 more
Actually,
chips.
this has a lot of gold. This hasn't been true so far. Look how gold and red all this is.
This looks like the end. I'm feeling the end. It's like in the last 2 minutes of this video, our phones are just all
And that one was my phone.
Yeah, like it's like everyone decided to contact us. It's probably like all from the same person too.
I doubt it.
So, alright guys.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next time.
Yeah.
So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
So long
So
and thanks
long.
for all the fish.
So long and farewell.
It's so sad that it has come to this. We tried to warn you.
Oh.
It's magic, you know. Never believe it's not soap.
Huh?
You were supposed to transition into another song.
Pie is so great.
That's not a real song.
Everybody loves pie.
They love pie. Shake those, honey! Bye!
Wow. Okay. In the comments, try guessing what song those were. Except for the pie one. That was Cassie original.
It was.
Yeah.
She
I do
actually,
love pie.
she actually has a music channel called Cassie's. Super original, awesome, fantabulous songs, super califragilisticexpialidocious that she makes by herself all alone. That's the length of all our titles, and it's all in one word, so it's actually impossible to find. But if you find it,
And
you win.
all of the songs are about pie.
They are. Well,
No.
there was one other that one.
Oh yeah, there was one about donuts.
Yeah. About how they were made. How the hole was made too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting story.
It was. Unfortunately, we can't tell it now.
Yeah, we can't tell it now, but
People died. That's so
a
important.
lot of people died.
Yep, the ship was sinking, and the only option was to cut out the center of the donuts and throw that overboard.
Yeah. That happens though.
It happens. It
That was after
happens
like
to the best of
that
us.
was after like all the people got thrown over.
Well, of course, because you had to.
People
It was just
went
one
first,
guy, the captain of the ship.
and then the donut hole in the middle went.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tragic.
It happens.
But totally worth it.
it
Donuts
happens
are
to the best
amazing.
of us, you know.
Yeah. Like that was a worth it sacrifice.
I
for
mean,
a donut.
you made me thinking. Dump the ammunition. You know.
No. People first.
You may be
then
thinking-
ammunition.
You know, dump the spare food. You may be thinking, dump the tapestries. Well, we already did all that.
Yeah.
And the only thing left was the donuts. Holes.
And so he popped out the center because he didn't want to get rid of the whole donut.
Yeah.
Because there didn't used to be centers to donuts. Yeah.
Fortunately, the ship did end up sinking. But he sailed away in his rowboat with all of the donuts.
He didn't have a rowboat. He threw that over too. Because the donut, the hole, it was able to float easier. And so he actually used the donuts like a bed to like float himself like a raft. He like took
It got a little
rope.
dangerous as he got closer to shore, though, because he kept eating it.
Yeah, he did eat it along the way. But like he just took the rope and kind of weaved it through the holes so it made like a raft that he could just lay on.
It's true.
And that's where lifesavers come from. That you throw into pools and save people's lives are actually donuts.
When we call them donuts, it's because we're referencing back to that brave day
Yeah.
where he escaped. I mean, it'd be hard to call him brave. I mean, he did sacrifice his whole crew.
No, I figured it was brave. He brought along some of the best food.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So.
Although
welcome.
before
What?
they cut out the center, they weren't called donuts, were they?
No, they
Because
weren't.
they're not really nuts. Did they just call them doughs?
They were actually just called delicious. But then it went on to donut.
I would challenge that because they would be called Doughlicious.
No, people don't make jokes like that.
Yeah, they do.
No, in the past, that's like a modern thing. Like in the past, they didn't make jokes.
They didn't make jokes.
No, everybody.
They had fluffy dough, deep fried bread thing that tastes delicious, covered with glazing of sugar.
Yeah, and they don't make jokes.
They didn't make jokes.
They didn't have knock-knock jokes or puns
None.
or anything like that. Because back in the day, everybody was really serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got away from that. And it was partially due to the fact that his whole crew was killed.
Partially.
Because people thought that was funny.
It was.
And that's where the joke actually came from. Because Theo thought it was comedic that he killed his entire crew, threw them overboard before
well,
he
that
would give
wasn't
out
like
his
the
donuts.
real origin of the joke.
That is the origin of the
No,
joke.
that wasn't the origin.
It's not the origin of the joke. That's the origin of funniness. Where funniness.
That was where people actually like. That was the first laugh that was ever heard. But the
Yeah.
first actual joke was actually made on that raft. As he ate the donuts, it formed a knock-knock joke, and it spelled it out. He just like because they were all tied together.
You know what the
See.
knock-knock joke was?
Which one?
You know what it was? You know what the knock-knock joke was?
No, go ahead.
Knock-knock.
Who's there?
Door.
Door who?
Door nut.
Ha! That's a good one. I like.
It really didn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, I think we need to start like a new show on the channel, and we'll just do educational
History.
videos. Yeah, because we know like a lot about history. We're really big
do.
history buffs. So
Someday we'll have to remember to tell the history of the tier.
why did someday come out really funny? Like someday.
Someday.
He sounded like Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. He's like,
That's offensive.
no, you did.
That's offensive.
I don't care really.
Not to me, to him.
Oh, that's
He's
true.
dead.
He did have a cool voice.
He had a cool voice.
Yeah, and you put it to shame.
He was cooler than me.
He was way cooler than you. He was
He
cooler
was.
than almost
I like
everybody.
Steve Irwin. I have a movie of his.
You do?
The movie was dumb. Remember, there's like the UFO that crashed down from space. Remember how terrible? It's not even on VHS, of course.
No, I don't
Like,
remember
it's,
that.
It's like a mix between like, you know, regular Steve Irwin where he's just telling you stuff like his Discovery Channel show. And then like there's like this UFO or something that crashes from space and they have like this whole like weird story built out around it. About how they need to capture this thing and they're like even bad guys in it, I think. I think the bad guy's like government or something.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
I do remember
It's
that.
terrible.
Yeah.
It makes
that
no
was- that
sense
was a
at
funny
all.
one. No, I enjoyed it, though.
No.
I was all for it.
No one enjoyed that.
I did.
Well, you're dumb.
Because Steve Irwin, yeah.
Someday we'll have to say about Steve Irwin's birth, too. And why he found this great affection for crocodiles.
Yeah. And, all that. Yeah. We'll start a history show. We could do that. We'd be famous.
Yeah.
It'd be the best history show ever.
It'd definitely be better than public education.
It would. I'm sure we could get a better history. We can talk about, like, the history of,
Air.
why there aren't squirrels in Egypt.
No.
That's a really good one.
I simply talk about, like, real things.
That's a real thing. There aren't squirrels
Like the
in
origin
Egypt.
of the world, you know.
The origin of the world.
You know. Obviously, there was that sneeze.
Yeah.
You know. The origin of spiders.
Origin of spiders. Yeah.
Little known fact,
Little known-
spiders. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, okay, I'm
Brace
ready.
yourself.
Yeah.
Actually, polar bears. As revealed in an
It's
episode
true.
of Lost. You may not have noticed it, but you know that the polar bear episode and they had the spider episode, the spiders that made them fall asleep, those two people?
Yeah.
Well, that was actually referencing to the polar bear. The polar bear, many years ago, billions and trillions, and honestly, scientists have it all wrong. They think the world is billions of years old. It's actually only about 3 months old, but we keep repeating these 3 months and things change over those 3 months.
Yeah, it's like Groundhog Day kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you have it right there.
Yeah.
So, the world's only a few months old, but we don't know it because our minds wipe every 3 months. So, so anyways, the polar bear in Lost, after Sawyer shot it,
And it ate the dad.
and it's dead, it split. And those forelegs that it
Is
had.
eating human part of this process? Like, does it
It
have to
is
eat a
actually.
human?
It
like,
is. Avoid polar bears because you'll start a major spider breakout.
Yeah, and you don't want to be responsible
See,
for that.
polar bears have 4 limbs, right?
Yeah.
And Jack's dad had 4 limbs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So after it ate it, it had 8 limbs.
I do remember that. Yeah, you're right.
You know, it had 8 limbs, so it's kind of like this. We were like, and it flew a little bit like a bird, like this. So it went up in the sky. How do you do that? Like this? Yeah, like that. Like this. Yeah, it's like this.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like,
It flew around a little bit after it ate it, and then it crashed down. And when it crashed down, it blew up into billions of spiders, and which all had 8 legs because it had the 4 polar bear legs plus the 4 legs from Jack's dad.
Well, what about the eyes?
The eyes?
How does it get so many eyes?
Well,
'Cause
polar bears
spider-
obviously have really big eyes.
Yeah, and spiders have like thousands of eyes.
Really small ones. Well, because the polar bear blew up, eyes were everywhere. Like, eyes galore.
Oh, so can eyes like split?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Eyes can split, of course.
Of course.
Well, the thing is, eyes are actually made up of little eyes. See, when you're seeing... See, okay, your eyes work kind of like a camera, like a digital camera now. It works with pixels. So you have, for every pixel your eye can pick up, that's another eyeball inside of your eye.
And when your eyeball, like little eyeballs, start dying, that's when you need glasses like me.
Yeah.
Like they slowly start dying, and that's why only some of them are working.
Yeah.
So you need
You've
the
lost
glasses
some
to
eyeballs.
enhance their abilities.
Exactly. You're right on. Dead on.
Thank you.
Spot on. Yeah. Well done. You guys shake hands on this. It's history. So,
Okay.
the eyeballs,
My hands are really cold.
the
Yours
polar
felt, like,
bear, the
really
polar bear
warm.
had really good vision.
Yeah,
He had trillions of eyeballs.
that's true.
Well, the spiders, they only need a few thousand.
Yeah.
And they only need a few thousand of the little eyeballs. And they only need, their eyeballs aren't that good. They can't see that well anyways. So,
No.
the polar bear eyeballs split up into billions of eyeballs. And thus, that's how the spiders have eyeballs.
Wow.
That is the origin of a spider.
And this isn't even history. This is science too.
This is
and
science.
genetics and everything. So this is the most educational thing ever.
We really should, I would call us the master of all arts
Probably,
and sciences.
including stick figures. We're great at that.
We can't talk about that, though. That is still a bit confidential. We gotta wait for Area 51 to get back to us on that, okay?
Okay. So, but yeah, we'll probably start a new show soon about history.
Exactly.
Or it'll be in the end of like everything we do. We'll just be like, "Did you know?"
Did you know?
Dun 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 dun. That's the Did you know music, and then we'll go in and we'll start with some information.
We'll just do like, we'll do them really fast, too. We'll flash like over like 100 facts. Each fact we'll put into like half a second. And we'll say it really fast, too.
Okay.
We'll be like, here's a random fact that you don't know. Like, okay, we'll be like, here, let's do it. Do the music. Do the music. Say, did you know?
Did you know? Dun 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 dun.
Spiders are polar bears. And then we flash to the next fact. You would say something.
Oh, okay. Do I have to give a fact? Because
Yes.
I have to think of one.
You should know these. You know everything.
I know, but I have to decide like which one's the
I mean,
most like important to tell.
It is.
And it's just like, should I tell people, like snakes are really squirrels' tails?
Shh.
See? You don't want me to tell stuff.
There's some things you don't people know.
Yeah.
There's some girls, and men, of course. We're not trying to be offensive to you men, who do have squirrel phobia, who may be afraid of snakes now because they're terrified of squirrels. See,
True.
most people aren't scared of snakes, but a lot of people are scared of squirrels. And especially women, it's actually hard-coded into most women's brain. You're terrified of squirrels, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean,
You
I
can't
really
stand them.
am. I can't. They have to like. I see one and I freak out. I'm just like in full panic attack.
Like one time, and I remember this. You were very young, obviously, and so you might not remember this. But
Because you are younger than me and you remember.
So,
Little known fact.
well, traumatizing events are easier to forget, as many scientists and a lot of research has proven. So, traumatizing events, you will probably be
I probably
more prone
did
to
block it
forget.
out of my brain. That's
Exactly.
like you can do that.
Well, there was a time when she was little,
Yeah.
and you were probably like 12, and there's a
Yeah,
squirrel,
probably.
and it actually stepped on her toe, her big toe. And this is back, several years ago, almost a whole decade now. And squirrels were much bigger than humans at the time. And so it actually broke her toe. I don't know if you remember wearing the cast or anything. Is that any of that kind of?
Heck, I was waiting to chop it off. Like that's all I remember. It's just like the squirrel touched my toe. I needed to chop it off.
I know it's
like-
in there deep down,
Yeah.
but such a traumatizing event has to be forgotten in order for her to go on each day.
Yeah, I don't think I could.
It's okay. It's okay.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. Can we stop talking about this?
Anyways, but since that day, she's also been afraid of snakes. Because the fear of squirrels, after she found out that snakes are that come from the squirrel's tail,
Actually,
she can't stand snakes either.
I don't mind snakes. Because, I'm sorry to tell you this, I know you really know what you're talking about. But
I am a...
no, let me tell you why a lot of women don't have the fear of snakes. As they are
Because they
squirrel.
don't know that
No,
snakes
that's not it.
are squirrel tails.
When squirrels die and everything, their tails fall off. And everybody knows that. And it forms snakes. And that's how, snakes come into existence.
Yes.
So the bigger squirrels, the bigger snake, and, all that. So, in reality, when we see a snake, as women, we see them, and we're like, oh, that's a dead squirrel. And so, we know that somewhere in our brains, that they are dead squirrels. So we actually are like, thank you for being dead.
There's one less squirrel left in this world.
Yeah, and so it's really a comforting fact to see more snakes in the world than, squirrels.
And as we know, snakes are the top of the food chain.
They are.
And so, but they don't eat humans. We kind of sit up there together,
They eat bugs.
Mutual. They eat bugs and especially hippopotamuses. So, I want one for Christmas, if you could handle that for me.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
So,
well, and of course, the reason
every
why they
squirrel
love
you kill,
hippopotamus.
every squirrel you kill,
Yeah.
you're providing another snake to help limit the severe overpopulation of hippos.
And because hippos are just, like, horribly mean creatures.
They are.
Like, they have no problem just, like, slaughtering, a little ladybug. Or a puppy.
Well,
They have no
let
problem.
me tell you another story from your childhood. So
Oh, no.
we
Here
were
we go.
out at the National Zoo of Zimbabwe, where they definitely have plenty of hippopotamuses.
They would.
And we were out there, of course. And you, being the little kid you were, probably at the age of, 19 at the time, you were out there.
Hold on. Little did you know fact, when someone is a younger sibling, they actually remember more about your life as an older sibling.
It is.
And so he remembers a lot about what I can't remember anymore because he's younger than me. So it just like,
Yeah.
So
And
he remembers a
Same
lot
thing
more.
for me, though. I don't remember much of my past.
but I
But, no, you're not younger than me, though.
no, but I am older.
But my younger sibling
But I've
would remember.
experienced it.
My younger sibling does remember more about me than you do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Generally, most siblings know more about your, as you as a person than anyone else, including yourself.
the reason you really can't remember a lot, though, and this is also hard science, most of your memory from young ages are in your wisdom teeth. And you see, she just had hers out.
That's
and so
true.
she can't remember jack squat.
Yeah.
I'm about to have mine out, and I'm going to lose all my memories, too, after that. Because most of them are they're right up here.
Yeah, right back there. It's like, you can kind of see them.
And you can see the memories. That's why they grow up sideways.
Yeah.
Because if you had a really hard, rough childhood, then they are on a lot of trauma, and they come up in different ways.
Yeah.
So,
So, yeah, so that's just what kind of happens. So
it is.
he'll probably have some memory loss. That's okay, though. He still knows a lot of information.
Back to the hippopotamus story, though.
Okay,
Because I think
let's-
that's what people are really interested in hearing.
Yeah, of course they are.
So,
um,
we're at the zoo,
at
right?
the end of these, we also will add homework, and you can write like reports and stuff on
There
it,
are.
on what we're telling you.
We would love to see you hand this in to your teacher. And
Yeah.
if they have any issues with this, tell them to come to us.
And we would love a picture of their faces after they read it, because like people's faces when they learn a mind-blowing fact that they didn't know before, it's just amazing to see them learn something. So
You may get such faces such as, or,
yeah, and those are all just moments of like, wow, like especially this one. She's like, ah,
Yeah.
it's this moment of how could I have not known that?
I'm
It's
so
like,
stupid.
I'm
I
trying
am
to
a
teach-
failure.
I'm like, I'm trying to teach these kids important information for life, and I just don't know this. It's like, how am I ever qualified to be a teacher or a human being?
Here's another tip going along with what you're just saying.
Is this a did you know fact?
No.
Okay.
You could do this. If you have a teacher you hate, or that's just really hard on you, what you need to do is give them this information. Because they'll be more likely to quit after that. Because they'll decide that they don't really know enough and that they need to get out of school. Don't give it to a teacher you like. You wouldn't want them to quit.
No, you won't keep that.
But your teacher you don't like, give them to them. Because they won't do anything to you. They will not punish you or anything. They'll go out of their way to get out of that job as soon as possible. Because that, once they hear. So.
Okay, so back to the hippos.
So the hippopotamus story, which you've
Yeah.
obviously forgotten.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's been
I
bad.
think it was in the tooth back here.
I mean, this right here. See this right here? See this scar you have? This it's still
I don't
swollen.
have a scar.
No, this
That's my ear.
No. That's ears. Here, do the did you know music for us.
Did you know? Da 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 da.
Ears.
I think I changed the tune. I couldn't
Ears
remember how
are
it went.
they're actually swelling. Anytime you get beaten, not beaten, sounds terrible. Anytime any harm you get, you may swell up a little bit, and after it's healed, it actually reverts all the swelling to the ears.
To ears,
So
yeah.
that's every trauma. Those people with big ears, for instance, Obama. This is getting taken down.
No, he said it, he's gotta go now. This is the internet. Once it comes, you
It
have to
has
go.
to go. It's true.
Yeah.
It is true. He's obviously been under a lot of stress, being the president, having such a hard job.
Yeah, I mean,
I
your
made up
ears
for it,
just
right?
yeah, your ears just get bigger with the more stress you have in your
The
life.
more stress or trauma in general. So,
You know, we don't have a lot of stress in our life that we can really remember, so our ears are quite average.
see, this ear over here was from, that was...
Tickles.
Oh my gosh. That was from the first thing. But this ear over here, this, was entirely from the hippopotamus.
Totally.
Basically, what happened, she was just sitting over there, touching the hippopotamus on the nose. This goes wrong with hippopotamus being very violent. Touching on the nose, giving a scratch on the ear, you know, which hippopotamus ears don't come from trauma, by the way. They're natural. Don't want to be confused. That was just humans.
No. When they're so powerful and everything, you know, they don't really experience much stress anyways, even if they did.
Exactly.
That's why their ears are just, like, totally disproportional from their body.
So the hippopotamus swoops down out of nowhere, and if you don't already know, hippopotamus have the biggest mouths ever. And entirely swallows Cassie in one gulp.
And they didn't have to chew because they only had the 2 teeth that really doesn't work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she didn't get chewed up or anything. It was fine. She got entirely swallowed though. So there she was in the belly of a hippopotamus, drowning in stomach acid. Ew. And so, luckily, I was there, and I did have my lightsaber with me, and I was able to slice open that hippopotamus at the very young age of 33. And so I broke through the hippopotamus with my cell phone. That was a demonstration right there. Sound.
Okay, he's actually making up the lightsaber part. That was a joke.
Okay, and honestly, this
When people have
a zookeeper came over and punched the hippopotamus in the stomach and threw her up. Way to ruin the story.
You know, I was gonna actually say how you did it because I know you don't remember this.
And you do?
I do actually.
You were dead.
No, I could hear it.
We spent 4 hours resuscitating you.
Cause you know how like
the giraffe actually are great at resuscitation, by the way.
No, hippopotamuses, they have, you know, that big face, and they have really big nostrils.
They do.
And because their ears are so little and they can't hear, they actually hear through their nostrils. And as everybody knows, like your nostrils and you know are connected to the throat, and so from in his stomach, I could hear what was going on. And under great stress, you know, people get really, you know, strong. You know, like that woman who lifted the car off her baby, even though we can't figure out why the baby was under the car. So he just, like, reached over and just, like, rip. He just, like, great strength just ripped it in half.
I did.
And he's just, like, holding 2 big chunks of, like, hippopotamus in both hands.
Well, they're literally one half here. And one
yeah,
half
like
here.
a half here
like,
and a half here.
Not just, like, chunks of flesh from ripping over the stomach. Like, I ripped him clean in half.
Yeah, and I just, like, fell out in between.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a rough day.
So the lightsaber thing was just a joke.
Well, I wanted to be cool though.
That was
I
cool.
ripped the hippopotamus in half.
Science is cool.
There was still the resuscitation by the giraffe. Luckily, you probably don't remember that.
I don't remember.
It was pretty
that.
gross.
Yeah.
You know, giraffes have like really long tongues. So thank you for tuning in. You're probably extremely disappointed by this episode of BattleBlock Theater since we did 0 BattleBlock Theater playing.
Yeah. We should probably just just expand it out. Ow. I just fell on steps. And then make this a whole separate episode. Like, not just an episode of BattleBlock. Just like a whole new. Like, this would be #1 episode.
I can't expand this out.
Well, you can leave it really small.
There'd be the BattleBlock Theater game footage.
Well, we'll just like put like a black behind it.
No, this is an episode of BattleBlock Theater.
And then we're gonna like, you know, did you know da 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 da. I can't remember my tune. What was my tune?
Da 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 da.
No, that's not right. Da 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 da. I don't know. The tune's probably gonna change. Are you finished?
Yeah, we're finished here.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Good.
I'm free.
Oh, oops.
I feel good. I knew that I would now. I feel good. Oh, I knew that I would. You almost killed me.